All right, just in the nick of time. They never warn us how much time is left in the second half or in halftime. As we're ready to start the second half of play, the Storm's Bobby Epelman just kicked off to number 8 of the Legacy, who runs around to the left side to about the 10. He's going to be forced out of bounds probably at about the 11-yard line. So I think it is Corbin who made the return, and they will spot the ball probably at about the 12-yard line. And the Legacy, who will get the ball to begin the second half, begin pretty deep in their own territory, 1st and 10.
Yeah, not a smart decision there by number 8, Calvin Corbin. But he's just trying to get something done right now. The offense is struggling, so he's trying to make a big play in the kick return game and get something going for this offense. And the Storm defense played a tremendous first half, so it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the second half for this Legacy offense.
Well, let's also not forget, the Storm led 34-0 in the season opener against the Northeast Philly Eagles at the break. And then they didn't score at all in the second half. I would think they would still need to really kind of focus things very, very closely so that way things don't get potentially out of hand here.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let their foot off the brake at all, and they're just going to continue to do what they did in the first half, in my opinion.
Okay, 1st and 10 for the Legacy with split backs. 3-wide slot to the left. Looks like they're changing their thing as Thompson goes back. The pass throws off his back foot and it's caught. Couldn't see who the receiver was, but he's able to crawl to maybe the, I think, 15-yard line. It's going to be a 3-yard pickup, and 2nd and 7. I believe the receiver that time was T.J. Brooks.
Yeah, number 91, Chris Medina, was just swallowed the quarterback. Made a great move, great swim move at the defensive tackle position, and they're really getting after this kid and obviously getting to his head, so that could definitely affect his throwing in the second half of this football game.
We'll give you a recap as to how the first half went in just a couple of moments here, as it'll be 2nd and we're going to say probably about 7 from the 15-yard line. But you know the Legacy, they're taking their time in the huddle as to what plays they need to get off here. But I'll tell you one thing, if they have a faster officiating crew, they could get a ton of delay of game penalties. And yeah, I'm actually a little surprised that we haven't seen shall we say, any delay of games on there. A few false starts, yes, but no delay of games. Split backs this time, 3-wide slot to the right on 2nd and 7. Back goes their quarterback throwing, and just wide, the intended receiver, T.J. Brooks, incomplete. It turned out Thompson got knocked down a little bit, so it'll be 3rd and 7.
Yeah, I have to make note once again. Chris Medina, number 91, is hitting the quarterback every single time. So you're not going to be throwing great football passes and making great plays when you know that there's going to be a defensive tackle, especially of his size and speed and power, in your face every play. So this offensive line for the Legacy really have to start blocking better, especially on number 91.
Okay, let's also not forget, if you just joined us here for the second half, it's Crazy Tom along with JJ here from Salisbury High School in Allentown. Lehigh Valley Storm in the third quarter leading 28-0 over the Delaware Legacy. We'll give you the recap momentarily as to what happened if you missed the first half. But we're glad to have you with us here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. 3rd and 7, they're going to throw the pass, and it is, I think, caught. And another I don't know what that was reaction-wise, but the pass was caught by Teddy Maxian, who ends up losing a yard. But now the Legacy on the punt, I'm assuming another big hit.
Yeah, bigger than the hit before. And like I mentioned, 91 got into the backfield twice, 2 plays in a row. And how do you stop him down? Number 23, the big tailback, named by Sebastian Wilson, who had the big hit before, absolutely crushed him. So that'll slow up the defensive tackle in number 91 there. And that's actually exactly how you have to do it. And a great play by the tailback. Unfortunately, they didn't get a first down, but that's what you have to do with stopping such a big defensive tackle of his size and strength.
I will say the only downfall here, you got to gain more yardage than -1 yards. That's the only problem with all that. Anyway, their kicker, I believe, Grulich. Oh, no, it's going to be a fake punt. I don't know why he's calling that one, because he gets drilled down at about the 9-yard line. Down 28-0. You're going to call a fake punt? Didn't work, dude. The Storm will get it 1st and goal, I believe, at the 9-yard line.
Not really the best decision there. Even if they got it, they still had to go about 70 yards. I didn't like that call at all. Here comes the Storm offense, ready to put more points on the board.
I'll tell you one thing, that's one of those strange calls saying we got to try and do anything and everything possible. But I'll tell you what, 4th and long, and you haven't even gotten to your 20-yard line yet. That's not a call I would make. I mean, if midfield stripe, that's another story. But deep in your own territory, if it backfired, and it did, then the Storm now have it first and goal at the 9-yard line. So the Storm looking to get into the 30s.
It was a high snap, so maybe that wasn't the call from the sideline. And he thought that it could have been blocked, but regardless, it did not work out in the favor for the Legacy.
Okay, first and goal from the 10 is like he was in the shot. Actually, a pistolero here, a receiver on each side. Back, and there's going to be an inside handoff. I think to Ridley to the 5. He scores easily. Welcome to the end zone. Raheem Ridley gets on the score chart. Sean Myers had a touchdown, and now Raheem Ridley strikes in with, I believe, his 4th of the year. The Storm now put their 34 points on the board.
Yeah, I like to call them the Thunder and Lightning duo. And after whatever happened on that fake punt, or if it was a high snap or not, the Storm came out in the first play and gave it right to Ridley, who found the end zone, and that's just the start they wanted for the second half. A couple minutes in.
Well, remember, the Storm had the opening drive of the game. It only took them 3 plays to drive 38 yards, and they were able to get a touchdown that way. And once again, they were able to establish control of this game and then some here, as Bobby Eppelman will try the extra point. So we wait for it. Here's the snap. Flags are down. Kick on its way and good. Let's see what the flags are all about. First of all, the Storm look like they'll be leading 35-0, but not exactly sure what the penalty is. It could be on the Storm because somebody might have jumped, but we'll soon see. So, and they may penalize on the kickoff too. The officiating crew is...
The point is up, and it is good by Bobby Eppelman.
Looks like they're saying that the Legacy's offside. Whatever the case, it's 35-0. It just takes them such a long time to discuss anything.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, but regardless, 35-0. And the exact way that, just like the Storm started the game, scoring on a couple plays in the first half, they're doing the same thing in the second half. Not a great call from the coaching staff for the Delaware Legacy there on that punt. Whatever happened, if it was called from the sideline or not, but Lehigh Valley Storm come out and score on the first play of the game. Raheem Ridley just took it up the middle and does what he does best. They have a Thunder and Lightning package in Ridley and Myers, and they gave him the ball and he found the end zone, and that's what they do best on this offense.
Well, I'll tell you what, just to recap real quick, 3 plays into the game, Lehigh found Jaleel Clark for a 24-yard touchdown, and that made it 7-0. Lehigh then found Devon Gordon from 32 yards out on the next drive. It took a very short time, making it 14-0. Then a defensive touchdown as Thompson had the ball stripped out of his hands by Mike Kuzer. It was recovered by Joe Davis in the end zone for a touchdown, making it 21-0. That was the quarter-time score. And that became 28-0 on a Sean Myers 1-yard touchdown run. Just now, Raheem Ridley from 10 yards out. It's 35-0. It was offside against the Legacy, so the Storm kick off from the 40-yard line, and Bobby Eppelman decides to send it somewhere to Scranton Wilkes-Barre, where I believe one of the coaches, Daniel McNana, if I can ever pronounce it right, have a banana. I'll get it right. He's a Cowboys fan like me. But anyway, it's a touchback, and the Legacy will have it first and 10 at 20.
Yep, and here comes the Storm defense once again, and they're really shutting down the offense right now. I haven't seen the veer option. I talked about it with their head coach, Lou Johnson, but with the quarterback issues that he's out, Isham Poe, number 3, maybe that's changing the whole dynamic of the offense that they run, but the offense that the Delaware Legacy are running right now, the Storm are playing great football and stopping it from every aspect.
And also don't forget about center Chris Wiggins, who's out to, I think, an injury, and I think that might also be why the Legacy have huddled a little bit longer than we kind of anticipated, because you got new members. That's where you got to make sure you have everything up in play, and unfortunately that's turned out to really be costly for him today. First and 10 for the 20-yard line is Thomas is going to hand it off on the right side. Not much there for their running back, now we got a little bit of a late hit that happened after which, but no penalty flags on the play. Number 39 it was, and I think he got a yard to the 21.
Yeah, a couple big hits on the defense there, and tailback, another big collision with number 91, Chris Medina. So Lehigh Valley Storm defense is they're flying around the ball and they're wrapping up, something that they did not do very well at all last week against number 10 CJ Tarver, who actually absolutely had a field day running all over the place. And I talked to number 44 outside linebacker Mike Kuzer earlier in the week on my show, and he said that Bob Kohler made it a specific point to wrap up and hit and that's what they did on Thursday night's practice. So they're showing much better effort on the tackling portion tonight.
Well, obviously, you have a much better team in Albany, in which the Storm kind of were a little manhandled here, and now the shoe's on the other foot here a week later. It is 2nd and 9 for the 21-yard line for the Delaware Legacy. I formation, receiver on each. Actually, it's a 3-wide slot left. We haven't seen much of that in this first half. Here's a handoff and a flag down as their running back takes it across the 30 and out of bounds. That is, I think, Calvin Corbin, who was able to run around the right side. We do have a flag down, but the Storm thinks it's going to be holding against the Legacy. So we'll see what happens. Joe Davis able to force Corbin on the tackle here, but we'll see what the officials say.
Yeah, number 35 is Grady Pizarro. Actually ran into his own man, number 6, Joe Davis, on the sideline, and it looks like he's shaking up a little bit right now.
Looks like number 4, you're right, Jaron Elder is slow to walk. And by the way, it is offside against the Storm, so that play's going to count. And it's going to be a first down for the Legacy, and I believe a pretty nice gain, too, to the 35-yard line. So a gain of 14.
Yeah, they're showing a little bit of momentum. I'm not really sure the adjustments that they made at halftime. I know that they didn't want to start out with the fake punt and letting up a touchdown on the first play of the game for the Storm, but they're going to try and put something together here, use their weapons and that they have, and just try and get on the board.
Okay, so it is 1st and 10 for the Legacy at their own 35-yard line. About 9 minutes left in the third quarter. 35-0 in favor of the Storm. 2 passing touchdowns by Lehigh, 2 rushing touchdowns, and a defensive touchdown by Joe Davis. Thompson will pitch it out. Another flag is down. Reversing direction looks to be Corbin, and Corbin gets thrown down at the 28-yard line. This time the tackle, if it counts, made by number 91, Chris Medina. But let's see what the flag is.
Yeah, another guy who's been all over the field, but it is going to be interesting to see what the flag is.
I think the Storm is saying illegal formation against the Legacy, so that play's not going to count anyway. So a 5-yard penalty. Or, wait a minute.
Illegal formation on the offense. The penalty was the clock.
Oh, okay, I see. The tackle was made at the 28-yard line, so it's a loss of 7. It was illegal formation because the Legacy did not have 7 men on the line of scrimmage. Minimum, if you have 6, you cannot do that. And it's only a 5-yard penalty. Since it's a loss of 7, why repeat the down? So it is 2nd and 17 as the Storm refused the penalty.
Yeah, and Chris Medina, number 91, and 57, Paul Bolden, who had great first half, are continuing to do in the second half what they did in that first half, and that's just make plays and wrap up all over the field.
All right, 2nd and 17 from the 28-yard line. Split backs this time, 3-wide slot left for Thompson under center. He'll take the snap, quickly throw the ball, and he threw it in between 2 receivers. Incomplete. Josh Brown and Teddy Maxian, I guess we'll say, was intended for both of them. And then if one of them caught it, the other probably would have fought for the ball, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. It's 3rd and 17.
Yeah, that's something that's going to happen, having your backup quarterback in the game. It looked like there was a miscommunication with the backup quarterback and the wide receiver. It looked like he was going to block, and maybe a rocket screen that went bad. So here comes another 3rd and long opportunity for the Legacy.
And by the way, from Ed from Storm Central's letting us know the Tri-State Bulldog lead is now 16-15 over the New Jersey Longhorns. That's early in the final quarter, so keep an eye out on that game. There's going to be some excitement going on. Pretty good finish up in North Jersey, wherever they're playing that game, either that or in Southern New York. Who knows what they're playing, but the 2 teams are like less than an hour from each other anyway. But we'll keep an eye on it for you. 3rd and 17 from the 28-yard line. And now whistles blow, and we may have a timeout. The question is by who? Is it the Legacy? Yes, the Legacy used their first timeout with 7:15 left here in the third quarter, in the Storm with a 35-0 lead.
Yeah, and they have, you have to keep note, they have a backup center in the game, they have a backup quarterback in the game. Last week, right now they have 5 offensive linemen. Only last week one of them played, which actually is the center who was out today. So they have 5 offensive linemen in tonight's game that did not play last week. Like I mentioned in the pregame, when me and Crazy Tom were talking, they had defensive ends playing offensive line. So that's something that you have to keep in the back of your head. And they're really just trying to get something going, but they're struggling. You can tell by these timeouts that they're calling. So they really never got anything going tonight.
You got that right.
So far.
Well, yeah, so far. Strange things happen. By the way, Pepsi is proud to sponsor Lehigh Valley Storm football here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. See what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse. And let's also not forget to give a crazy shout to Kaplan's, who's out on Northampton Street in Easton. Give them a call, 610-258-5319, or go to kaplanawning.com. If I can't even see because of the glare on the glass here. But anyway, it is 3rd and 17 now from the 28-yard line as Thompson is in the under center. He's going back, and he's under a rush. He's in trouble. Down he goes. Guess who? Carl Kreidler. He slams him down for about 8-yard loss. The ball ended up going about 20 yards behind him. Probably the quarterback saying, "Why didn't I break that tackle?"
Yeah, he just threw it. He's showing his frustration. This defensive line for the Storm have just been getting there all game. The quarterback actually had no time once again there, and just like in the first half, to throw. So he showed a little bit of frustration after the play. They could have called unsportsmanlike conduct, but kept the laundry in their pocket, and another big stop for the Storm.
For once.
Well,
as in the keeping the laundry in the pocket.
Yeah, no, I knew what you meant. Not the stop for the Storm.
You never know. Our listening audience can easily misconstrue us, but then again, we are misconstrued ourselves. We're only describing this thing. Anyway, punting now looks to be, I believe, Zach Grulich, who will punt. I don't know how many times he's done that. Gets a good snap. Under a low rush, but gets the punt away high and end over end. It's taken by Reck about the 47, has a whole midfield 45, and takes a big hit across the 40 down to the 39-yard line. Number one happened to make the stop after all, but it's Yusuf Reddick who had a nice return of about 14 yards, and the Storm again will be in legacy territory to 39-yard line to start their drive.
Yeah, the reason why I like this kid back as a punt returner and kick returner for the Storm, he just gets the ball and he goes. You see too many guys who get the ball and they dance around, they're running back and forth. Every single time he gets the ball, he takes one. He makes one cut and he goes. So once again, the Lehigh Valley Storm are going to have great field position on this drive.
I think this is like the third time they've been inside the legacy 40-yard line to start a drive, and so far in the 3 previous possessions that they've, or at least the 2 previous possessions, they've scored touchdowns both times. So, with 5:42 and counting here in the third quarter, Storm leading 35-0. Jimmy LeHue in the Pistolero, 1st and 10 at the Legacy 39-yard line. LeHue a high snap, pitch out Sean Myers. He'll sweep left, has a hold of the 30, 35, gets around the block and gets forced out of bounds at about the 30-yard line by that number 58 character, who, again, we don't have listed, but it's still a 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, it was just a simple toss sweep to the left on first down, and it was a nice pickup of about 8-9 yards, but tailback Isaiah Green, number 20, was in the game, and he had a great block. He sealed the defensive end or outside linebacker, and that made Myers have the opportunity to have the open space to pick up a big gain.
Okay, it'll be 2nd and a yard from the Legacy 30-yard line. Again, the Pistolero, the 2 running backs, Raheem Ridley and Sean Myers. This keeps up. We may not see too much more of them the rest of the game. LeHue will take it and go inside, handoff to Raheem Ridley. Didn't work. There were 4 Legacy players surrounding him, and he's dropped for a 4-yard loss. Good call on the defense.
Yeah, that was a great play. The front seven is big, real big front seven for the Legacy, who they've shown some flashes, haven't made too many big plays in this game so far. Made a big play there on 2nd and 1.
Okay, so it'll be 3rd, and we're going to say probably about 5 from the 34-yard line. It's LeHue back in the traditional shotgun. It'll be Raheem Ridley next to him, 4 receivers, 2 on each side. LeHue waits for the snap, takes it, goes back, no drop, fires at the middle, pass caught to Devon Gordon, and he'll have a first down to 20-yard line.
10,
a 14-yard pickup as Devon Gordon, who catches his 2nd pass of the game, this one for 14 yards, and we can move them chains.
And you know that play is at the top of at the list of plays to call that always work for the Lehigh Valley Storm, and that's LeHue on a little post to Devon Gordon, 3rd and long. That's a great little pickup and something that they needed to keep this drive alive.
I'm probably the only broadcaster that'll say this was the no-step drop. You know how you got the 3 to 5 to 7, the 237-step drop?
Yeah.
That's if you're Fran Tarkenton, obviously. First and 10 as the Storm are right outside the Legacy 20-yard line. Come up on 3:35 left in the third, and the Storm leading 35-0. Lehigh in the shotgun, takes a snap, looks, he'll throw to his right. Pass is caught. That's Reddick. Hit a 15. He'll get to about the 10 where he's tackled along the far side of the field by Daryl Dorsey. Made a nice shoestring tackle. If he doesn't make it, that's more points.
It's getting real chippy right now. I think there's a late flag on the defensive tackle for the Legacy. There's 2 plays in a row, and he's in the face with Raheem Ridley. So just something to keep an eye on here. It's getting real chippy out there.
Well, hang on one second. We understand there are flags down. And was there I don't know what happened here, but the officials are deciding, this is after the play was over. It is a personal foul against the Legacy. And that'll mean a half the distance to the goal situation, and it'll be first and goal to the 5-yard line, looks like. So, obviously, now you see the frustration on the Legacy right now.
Yeah, late in the third quarter here, defensive tackle, who's had a pretty good game for the Legacy, is just showing some frustration, and sometimes that's something that you can't help, and the Storm are going to look to continue to put points on the board.
Well, with 3:06 and counting here in the third, the Storm at first and goal from the 5-yard line. Lehigh in the shotgun. He's going to go with 4 receivers, 3 to the right this time. Single setback is Ridley. It's a pistolero. Lehigh will take the snap, hand off to Ridley, and no, he's going to take it himself. Lehigh will walk in himself. Welcome to the end zone. Jimmy Lehigh, for the 3rd straight game, rushes in for a score. Maybe it's the 4th straight game. I'll have to double check that. But the Storm are in the 40s again.
Yeah, not only can Lehigh throw great passes and hit his receivers, but a little fake out there. He took it in using his feet, and that's something that this Storm offense has to be proud of. And it's a little weapon that they use against defenses, because they really didn't show any of that all game on fakes. He wasn't really carrying it out too much, and he got into the end zone there, walked in.
I'll tell you what, Lehigh faked us out and faked out the rest of the city of Allentown with that one.
Yeah.
So the 3rd rushing touchdown for the Storm today, 1 for Myers, 1 for Ridley, and now 1 for Lehigh.
The 3-headed monster.
Well, I don't know. I can draw that one up. A high snap on the extra point. Kick on its way. It's down the pike and good. And with 2:45 left here in the third, it's 42-0 in favor of the Storm. We have flags down the very end of the play. So we'll see what that's all about. We'll see where the kickoff is going to be right after they discuss everything. So how do you like this?
Yeah, I mean, they're it's getting chippy like I just mentioned before, but the Storm right now are really on point, and they're playing mentally smart. Something before this game that I said that they have to do to come out and win this game. They're up 42-0. They're up 42-0 right now, and they just came out, and I think on offense, defense, and special teams are getting the job done tonight. A couple of mental mistakes and stupid penalties, one by Joe Davis, and I forget who the other one was, but they're playing great football in my opinion. They're really coming out and doing what exactly they had to do after a big loss up in Albany.
And by the way, again, this word up from Storm Central, the New Jersey Bravehearts are on the board, but they still trail Somerset by a count of 21-7. And the Tri-State Bulldogs, they're now up 23-15 over the New Jersey Longhorns in that game. So, needless to say, a couple good ones going on not too far from us. But here, the Storm, 17 minutes and 45 seconds away from making a 4-1 start.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they not only wanted to do, they needed to do. They had a tough week of practice, and they worked on a bunch of things that they're executing tonight, and that's something that head coach Bob Kohler wanted to see.
Following offside on the Legacy, 5 yards on the kickoff, so the kickoff's in the 40, and Eppelman sends it high and end over end. The Legacy don't even bother. They need to pick it up. It's a live ball, and now kneeling down at the end zone for a touchback. The Legacy forgot once the ball goes 10 yards, it's a live ball. The Storm could have recovered in the end zone, man. That had 6 more points on special teams, but the Legacy realized, what am I doing? So they decided to take the touchback. Boy, I know they were being completely manhandled in that game, but you got to have your head in the game no matter what the score is.
Yeah, no matter what the score, and it is 42-0, but Calvin Corbin just let that ball sit, and number 37, Brian Arroyo, he knew the rule, and he was absolutely flying down as the gunner on the kickoff team, and he was looking to steal a quick touchdown there, but thankfully for the Legacy, he got number 8, got back on it and took a knee. So they're back out onto the field right now, and they're going to try and do something that they haven't done all game, and that's pick out some first downs and keep the ball moving.
Well, they've had little drives where we've gotten a first down or two, but the Legacy really haven't had a sustained drive at any point in this game because the Storm defense has played relatively well. But again, let's also not forget about the backups, some of them that are in this game. The Legacy just used their second time out of the half, so who knows what's going to happen here as we go into the end of the third quarter. 42-0 in favor of the Storm. I think I said that right. 42-0 in favor of the Storm. Minute 50 left in the third quarter. Case of brain cramp.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to read off a couple sponsors right now.
Go right ahead. We haven't done that yet.
It's going to be Pepsi is our big sponsor, and Schroeder's Pub and Restaurant, located Northampton Street in Easton, Pennsylvania. Scott's Family Up Dealership, Scott Lott, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo. Also, Kula Children's Center, located 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And Connecticut School of Broadcasting. And don't forget to visit lvstormfootball.com and like their Facebook page also, hot101.net. They also have a Facebook page that you can like. And I want to thank also, we're not done yet, but I want to give a little shout out to Miss April and DJ Lexus.
Of course, the people at hot101.net that host is courtesy of Storm Radio. Of course, Crazy shouts them as well. Of course, other sponsors like A&H Sporting Goods, Harmony Press, NEPAConnect.com. You can find them all at lvstormfootball.com, so definitely check them out. All right, back to the game. 1st and 10. As the Legacy are at their own 20-yard line in the shotgun formation for, I think, the very first time. And a bad snap taken by Thompson, who will be completely annihilated inside his own 5-yard line. And the man who ran him over like a reindeer, I don't know if it's Phil Tucker or Grady Pizarro.
I think there's three guys there, and they all absolutely, it was a bad snap, and that's what you get with your starting center out. So it's the backup center and the backup cornerback, and it's sad to say, but they're doing what they do best, and they're moving backwards.
Not to use the juvenile definition of backing up, they did just that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's more in a football terminology than the actual lyrics. But anyway, it's a loss of 14, 2nd and 24 from their own 6. Again, Thompson in the shotgun, 4 wide this time. Single setback and another bad snap, and it's recovered, and it might be in the end zone. It might be in the end zone. We'll see. It is Storm football. It is recovered by Brian Arroyo, but I don't think he got in the end zone. And now we have evidently a little skirmish going on after the play. Legacy players and Storm players getting in and obviously mouthing off here as we're in the final minute of the third quarter. I tell you, I say this all the time. I know this game is one-sided, but there is no reason to completely lose your head and get into a battle royal. We saw that 4 weeks ago against the Eagles in a game where it was 34-6, and now we're having history repeat itself. The Legacy just completely have had all the wheels fall off on their bus.
Yeah, that's something that you never want to see. I think someone was injured on the play and at the bottom of the pile, so that's something that maybe caused that little skirmish at the end. But did they rule a touchdown, or it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1 for Lehigh?
From about the 1.5, it looks like. But Brian Arroyo will get credit for recovering the fumble, the third turnover today by the Delaware Legacy. Oh, by the way, while we have a second, congratulations to Boston Red Sox player David Ortiz. I found out a few minutes ago he has 400th career home run. Wow. I don't know what the score is in that game, but I'll tell you one thing. That's quite an accomplishment you got. But back to football. 1st and goal from about the 1.5. It looks like LeHugh's in the shotgun. Let's see what they do with this one. LeHugh takes a snap. He's got to keep it, and he gets tripped at about the 1-yard line. He doesn't quite get in. So if we're going to go for another touchdown, we're going to have to wait until after 3/4 time for this to take place. So the clock will wind down. We go to 3/4 time, and the score after 3. The Lehigh Valley Storm 42, the Delaware Legacy nothing. 15 more minutes. I don't think we have Geico as a sponsor though, but 15 more minutes of football left before the Storm notch their 4th win of the season.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just playing great football overall, offense, defense, and special teams. It's getting chippy out there, but that's something that you have to expect. And 51-6, the New Jersey Wolves beat this Delaware Legacy football team, and there is a couple injuries for the Legacy, but there's nothing to hold back from the Storm football team. They came out tonight. There's still a quarter of football left, but you can say it's in the books. 42-0 with 15 minutes left. The fourth quarter to play, and this Lehigh Valley Storm football team is about to punch it in again, and did exactly what they needed to do tonight on this football field.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the most impressive thing about the Storm right now. They were able to put last week behind them, and I know it's still 15 minutes left, but they want to make sure they just finish the job and make sure they try and keep the goose egg on the board.
This quarter's going to be 12 minutes instead of 15.
Oh, okay. So we just found out because of the gap in scoring, they have cut the deficit in the fourth quarter to 12 minutes. It will not be a 15-minute quarter. It will be 12 minutes instead. So we're basically saying, you know what? This game is pretty much decided, so before anything else bad happens, let's just run the clock from 12 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. But you know that this Legacy team is still going to fight, and they know there's still a quarter of football left.
All right, second and goal from about the one. Lehigh with the snap. Hands off to Sean Myers. Myers wrapped up. He will not go in the end zone. In fact, he loses a couple to about the 4-yard line. So it'll be third and goal now. And you know what? Even if the Storm do not score a touchdown, try a field goal. Give Appleman a little confidence that he can kick field goals because he's struggled over the last couple of weeks.
Honestly, I couldn't agree with you anymore with the point that you just made. He did struggle, and there's nothing like giving a little confidence to your kicker. You never know when you're going to need him to come in an important game, and I have to agree with you there.
Okay, so with that said, the clock continues to run. Remember, we shaved off 3 minutes because of the gap in scoring. 42-0 in favor of the Storm here in the final quarter. Third and goal from the 5-yard line. Lehigh in a shotgun between Ridley and Myers. I'm shocked they're all still in the game. Lehigh takes the snap, looking, backs up. He fakes. He's looking. He'll try and run. He does. He goes on the left side. He waits. Now he's got to throw it, and he ends up throwing it away, intended for number 19. That happens to be Art Sanders. Sanders actually caught the touchdown last week from Caleb Fick to close out the Storm scoring, but it was over his head. He had to throw it away because nobody was open.
Yeah, Sanders is also another weapon that you don't hear his name too much, but when he gets the ball, he makes big plays, and you got your wish. Here comes... Are they bringing in Appleman?
Nope.
No.
Oh, wow. I'm very surprised by this.
So am I.
So they're going to try and go for him. Michael Thomas is coming in, replacing Raheem Ridley. Ridley has a touchdown run. Sean Myers has a touchdown run. And they're going to... Oh, and Myers is still in the game as a single setback. 4 receivers, 2 to the right on 4th and goal from the 5. A little surprising here. He will be in, taking the snap. Look, throws out the middle. It is caught. Welcome to the end zone. It's Michael Thomas. He's able to get the score without crashing into anybody this time around. And now a late flag, and here we go again. Another flight break sound immediately after the play. And the Storm bench clears out. I do not understand this at all. I mean, I can understand the frustration on the Legacy, and this is why we reacted in the booth the way they did, that I was surprised Appleman didn't get pulled on for a field goal. Because, I mean, we know the game's pretty much all but decided, but I'll tell you something. I can understand why the Legacy is frustrated by this.
Exactly. Now there's coaches on the field. This is something that you never want to see, and there's still 11 minutes of football left in this game. It's going to be interesting to see how they already cut 3 minutes off the fourth quarter. Who knows how this game is going to end out? It looks like there's someone injured also on the play, and that's not something that you want to see.
And why does it have to happen? This is so unnecessary. I don't know which side it's on, and it looks like I think it's a Storm player. I really think it's a Storm.
There's 2 guys there.
Wow. So I really don't get why this had to happen like this. I mean, I understand it's semi-pro, and I know there are people playing for the love of the game, but when people get hurt in unnecessary skirmishes like this, that really takes away from the brotherhood of the game. You now know why I do these invocations, to prevent these things from happening. I guess mine didn't work today.
Exactly, and in my opinion, that's why you do send out Bobby Appleman for a couple reasons. One, to give confidence to a struggling kicker in number 47. You never know when you're going to need him. Also, nobody down 41 points wants that team on 4th down going for it. So that could be why the skirmish broke out also. They could have been going for that, and this looks like a bad injury maybe out there right now, so we're going to hope for the best.
Okay, well, I'm not 100% sure who's the injured. It is a Storm player that's down. And the Storm, I think, and there's still that injury timeout.
Lehigh Valley Storm will take a timeout.
And I don't know why you want to call it timeout when there's a injured
They have
player.
2 remaining left in the ball game.
So we're waiting to see exactly what the story is. But again, a little bit of a surprising thing. And I told you this story about 4 weeks ago in the season opener. Almost a similar situation where I saw one team play another, and twice in the game there was an onside kick after a touchdown. The latter one being when the team scored to take a 42-0 lead with like 9 minutes left in the game. And then they went to onside kick again. They recovered the ball again, and a major brawl broke out, and the ref said, "We're going home." I don't know if the same thing is going to happen here. The injured player is number 54, and that is Christian Colon. And it looks like he's walking off, but he's holding his shoulder. We're hoping the injury is not too serious, but I'll tell you what, I think the MLF police may have to investigate this.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why, once again, I'm going to state that why you kicked the field goal there and that opportunity, injury, and giving confidence to your kicker, and something that you want to see, especially when the game you can say is in the books. You don't want to see injuries, and the one thing that you can say that the Storm haven't gone on their side today, they have had a couple injuries, so you know that they want to be smart with 11 minutes left in this football game.
Well, yes, that is indeed true. Now, the officials are discussing, I'm not sure exactly for what. I would assume since this came after the play was over, it'll be if we continue, and the key word is if we continue, it'll be a 15-yard penalty assessed on the kickoff. Now, remember, we had a skirmish that happened last year when the Storm had a similar lead against another team, and the officials, to prevent any further damage, called the rest of the game off because we already know who had won. But now, in this situation, they're looking like the Storm, they're going to let things continue. But I'll tell you what, I'm pretty sure if this happens one more time, the officials are going to go home because, I mean, there's no place for it. You play football, and even if it's not your night, you still have your respect for your opponent. You don't go cheap-shotting people.
I have to agree, and I actually talked to the head coach of the Delaware Legacy earlier on in the game, and he said last week there was no cheap shots or confrontations, and the Lehigh Valley Storm football team they're not a showboating team, and actually the Metro Maulers did showboat a little bit at the end of the game last weekend. The Storm composed themselves, so I don't really see why this is happening, and it's something that you don't want to see when a game is over, and only bad things can come from it.
You're absolutely right, and I guess having it happen 2 weeks in a row for the Legacy, that I think everything boiled over, and very unfortunate here. So
yeah, it looks like the ref just told both parties to take it easy for the next 11 minutes.
Yeah, knock it off, in other words. All right, Appleman will try the extra point here. Takes a good snap. Kick on its way. It's down the middle of the good. And with 10:55 left in regulation, or in this ball game, we'll just say 49-0 in favor of the Lehigh Valley Storm. Oh, boy. I mean, I didn't expect this to be a blowout the way it is, but I'll tell you what, the Storm have completely dominated this game.
They've dominated this game in every aspect, offense, defense, and special teams. They had some big kick returns. Their kickoff team is playing tremendous, in my opinion. That's something that really never gets noticed. And I'm going to give a shout-out to the Lehigh Valley Storm offensive line, who we don't have a chance to talk about too much, but if you really look back and think about what's happened so far in this game, quarterback Jimmy LaHue really hasn't been hit too much. There's been a couple times when he's been hit, and this offensive line, led by number 77, Zach Yankovic, at the left tackle position, they're really playing well. And the front seven for the Delaware Legacy, they have a real big front seven. They're playing, they're run blocking as well as pass blocking. That's something that you want to see. They struggled with that last week.
Well, and yeah, you're absolutely right, because I haven't recalled at any time LaHue getting sacked or whatnot. This is interesting. They are backing the ball up. I thought it was going to be a midfield kickoff, but I think the penalty, in fact, 2 of them, they're going to back them up all the way to, I think, the 10-yard line. I think what happened was two personal fouls.
From their own
Two
10-yard
personal
line.
fouls have been called on the Storm. So the first one's 15 yards, and the second one's half the distance to the goal.
Yeah, I don't think Bobby's kicking this one out of the end zone.
If he does, we're going to have to test him.
Yeah.
All right, so Appleman will try and kick this thing off, and if there are delays at Lehigh Valley International Airport, we are not responsible for them. So Appleman approaches and kicks it off. I'm assuming a return. It will bounce, and it'll be taken by number 1 about the 22-yard line. Go around the far side, has a hole to about the 30, and he's going to slide down, crash into a man, and get thrown down to about the 38-yard line. So it's a halfway decent return by, I believe, by number 1, who I don't know who it is. It says David Thompson. We've been calling Thompson as number 17, so don't know exactly what's going on, except a lot of yelling from the sideline opposite.
Yeah, I thought after that injury and that dumb whole 5 minutes that happened at the end of the last touchdown that was scored, I thought it would stop. But number 57, Paul Bolden, got absolutely rocked on that play, and the guy who hit him, I didn't catch his number, but got up and got right in his face. So they're jumping up and down. They're down 49-0. I don't see a need for it. So like I said before, 10 minutes left in this football game, and it's gonna be interesting to see. They just need to stay composed and be smart.
I totally agree, and I saw Daryl Dorsey jumping down the far sideline where the Legacy are, trying to get his troops fired up. I think trying to fire up to just get that 0 off the scoreboard in all probability. It's 49-0 in favor of the Storm as we're counting down to 9.5 minutes left in the game. So we'll see what happens as Thompson comes back onto the field for 1st and 10. They will line up just a receiver on each side and a single setback, so they'll line the offensive line up big. They take the snap, a handoff left side, and slipping out of a tackle, number 39, reversing gears. Look at him go to the 45. Crossing into Storm territory at about the 46-yard line. So a nice run by number 39, who, again, we don't know how he's listed. But I'll tell you what, Luther Wilson made a stop, and not before a 17-yard gain.
Yeah, and that could be the biggest play for them today, and they're definitely trying to get that 0 off the board. They lost last week 56 to, I think, 7 was, so that's 105 to 6 in the last 2 games. So they definitely want to boost their confidence for the next game and definitely put some points on the board before leaving Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Correct, 100 to 6. That's quite a number. The gain was for 18 yards. The ball be spotted at the Storm 44. I don't think the Legacy have been in Storm territory much, if at all, today. So this is very unfamiliar territory for them. 1st and 10. Thompson under center here. A receiver on each side, single setback. Ball spot at the Storm 44-yard line. They snap it, another handoff. That's 39 again. He'll run hard. He'll get to about the 41, maybe the 40, and then he gets run over by Kreidler and Flood, who make the stop, and not before a gain of 4.
Yeah, that was definitely a group of Lehigh Valley Storm defenders there, and that's something that the coaching staff has to be proud of. They worked on all week, and gang tackling. They really were exposed last week, so that's definitely, they're going to go back to their drawing boards and check mark. Definitely something positive to take out from this game from the defensive side of the ball.
And Ed in Storm Central has just informed me the Tri-State Bulldogs are winners over the New Jersey Longhorns 23 to 15. So that has gone final. So the Bulldogs getting the win column this week. Last check, we saw the Somerset Bears. They were up 21-7 over the New Jersey Bravehearts. Of course, the Bears coming off their 23-0 shutout win over next week's opponent for the Lehigh Valley Storm, the Newark, New Jersey Spartans. I'm going to be feeling a bit queasy about it for next week, but we'll talk more about it when we get there. 2nd and 6 from the 40-yard line. Back goes Thompson. He's looking. He waits. He has time. He'll try and scramble away. He doesn't have much room. He's slowed up. Makes a couple of people miss him, and now he goes down to about the 42-yard line. I'll tell you what, he may have dizzy spells when he wakes up in the morning. He loses 2, but he must have made about 3 spin turns, and hopefully the world is not spinning around after that one.
Yeah, it might be. And this Delaware Legacy team, down 49, are definitely still fighting, playing strong, and that's something, besides all the chipping that's going on, that's something that you want to see. Continuous football throughout this entire game, and if you could say it, this might be their best drive of the game so far, so it's going to be a 3rd and about 7 or 8 right now, and they're definitely looking to convert.
By far their best position of the game. 3rd and 8 from the 42-yard line for the Delaware Legacy. They have a receiver on each side, single setback, down to 6:20 and counting till time, and the Storm up 49-0. Thompson under center will wait to take the snap here. Taking their time, back he goes. Oh, he has no number, so it's another quarterback, but whoever it is, down he goes as the referee says he was in the grasp, so give credit on the sack to Chris Medina. Back down at the Legacy's own 45-yard line. That's going to be a loss of about 12. So even though Medina didn't throw the quarterback down, the officials did the right thing and stop it, because if he was thrown down wrong, then there would have been the final blow.
That kid number 91, Chris Medina, has absolutely been living in the backfield all game and just creating havoc for the quarterback, David Thompson, of the Delaware Legacy. And him right in the middle, not only is he big and fast, he's real strong. And every time the quarterback drops back, seeing big number 91 in your face is not something that he likes to see.
I'm sure he'll be having nightmares of that tonight. Actually, it's not Thompson at quarterback. It's a guy without a number.
Oh, well. No name.
I mean, like I said, semi-pro football, what do you expect? I mean, this is where if you don't have a number, you're going to need to put fractions on as uniform numbers. So maybe 6 7/8 should work next time. Anyway, 4th and about 20, the Legacy at their own 46-yard line, and their quarterback, unnumbered and unnamed. Under center with a receiver on each side. Back he goes. Short drop. Throws to the right. And a pass incomplete. Went over the head. And Rodney Gilmore happened to be around. It was intended for Teddy Maxian. But unfortunately for the Legacy, they turned the ball over on downs. And now the Storm will try and run out the last 4:49.
Turnover on downs and letting up some big plays and everything last week. This is something that they're definitely happy about. From the start of this game, they were really jumping up and down, and maybe they were not saying it, but each player individually knew what they wanted to do and come out and perform tonight. And I didn't know the exact game plan, but in my opinion, it looks like checks across the board. Offense, defense, special teams. The defense in the middle, led by number 57, Paul Bolden, and number 91, Chris Medina, really getting after the quarterback and running back, and the defensive secondary playing great. This is the exact bounce back game that this team was looking for.
And they certainly got it. 1st and 10 for the Storm at the Legacy 46. I would assume Fick's in the game. He is. Other different ones in the game include Rob Kuzer and Isaiah Green. They're both in now. As Fick will take the snap, they do hand it off to Green. Bounces on down to the 45, 40. Look out, big run to the 30 and down to the 26-yard line. About 20-yard gain to the 25-yard line. And even the Lehigh Valley Storm up 49-0. They're getting vocal.
And this is a kid that I want to see on the field. I got a chance to talk to him 2 weeks ago. He lost his cousin. Then this week he lost his uncle. So
I didn't know that.
I just found out yesterday. So you heard the excitement from the sideline and the crowd. So look for Isaiah Green to have a couple carries here, hopefully get in the end zone.
You know what? Then there's a reason why there's a little bit on the line, so I wouldn't be surprised if Green gets a couple more touches. 1st and 10 at the Legacy 25. This time they hand it to Rob Kuzer, and Kuzer is dropped for a 2-yard loss to the 27-yard line. Good tackle that time by Brandon Crenshaw.
Yeah, exactly. So this is their second little package that they bring in Rob Kuzer and Isaiah Green. So I'm excited for Fick just to give him the ball for the next couple minutes. And like I said, I know the sideline and the crowd wants Isaiah Green to get in the end zone. So that's hopefully what I'm looking for.
I would have thought they could have done that in the previous play. The previous drive. That would have certainly been nice, but now I understand why this is all going on. Obviously, condolences to Isaiah and his family on both the losses. In the Pistolero, 2nd and 12. Here's a handoff, Rob Kuzer again. Kuzer will get to about the 25, and he's dropped at about the 24-yard line. Pickup of 3, brought down by, I think it says Sarah Alexander, I think, number 26, who's still fighting in this game. As we're going to come up to about the 2-minute warning, I don't think the Storm are going to let their play go.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. And actually, that kid number 26 has had a pretty good game. If you want to call someone out for this Delaware Legacy defense, he's been flying all over the ball, Sayer Alexander, making some big plays. But overall, I don't think they just match up too well with this high-powered Lehigh Valley Storm offense.
I think they're also ignoring the 2-minute warning, too, because we're under 2 minutes now. 3rd and 10. Here's Fick with a pass, and it is caught by Agaman Moore. He might be a little short of a first down. Gets to the 16-yard line, so it'll be 4th and a yard after a pickup of 9.
Yeah, so 4th and a yard is coming here, and I'm interested to see what they're going to call. Maybe a draw inside. Maybe they want Fick throwing the ball again on a skinny poach, which seems to work for this team. So
maybe a screen to Isaiah Green here. That may not be a bad idea, but I don't think Green's in there right now. All right, 4th and a yard from the 16-yard line. And Caleb Fick will take the snap. He's looking. He throws to the right. Pass is knocked away and incomplete. Sebastian Wilson got a hand on it. And Storm turned the ball over on downs, and the Legacy at least prevent the Storm from going to 50.
Yeah, exactly. And they definitely did not want to let up 50 points in this game. They let up 49, and they really just couldn't match up too well with the Storm offense today. There's so many guys and weapons for the Storm offense. Lehigh finds guys like Devon Gordon and Michael Thomas, who didn't have a great game, but Jaleel Clark, who I thought was going to have a good game, he did. So they did have some trouble tonight with that for sure.
Well, that is certainly true, but I'll tell you one thing. The Storm at the very least made their statement. As, by the way, Ed and Storm Central just told me the Bravehearts had scored a touchdown and the Somerset Bear lead, I think, is now 21-13. I'm not sure if the extra point was good or not. But here, minute 9 left, 49-0, Storm over the Delaware Legacy. Now, of course, next week, and by the way, we want to thank everybody from the Judith Adele Foundation, who, of course, are the main sponsors, the main focus of today's game. And I don't know what happened to my sheets here, but what I can tell you is that if you want to check out the Judith Adele Foundation, visit their website at jaacf.org. Once again, jaacf.org. And of course, we want to thank the other sponsors here for the Lehigh Valley Storm: Kula Children's Center, the Scott Family of Dealerships, Shrudy's Pub and Restaurant, and of course Pepsi, which is the main sponsor of Lehigh Valley Storm football here on Storm Radio and Hot101.net. As we await the Legacy trying to do the last couple of plays of this game, we'll remind you from Pepsi, see what's now and on the verge by going to Pepsi.com and feeling the real big summer of the Pepsi Pulse.
We'll be taking on New Jersey Spartans.
So we're still waiting on an official timeout.
August 23rd at 7 p.m. is our
And
next home game.
Ed just told me the extra point is no good, and 21-13 is the score for the Somerset Bears over the New Jersey Bravehearts. So now 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line, as their quarterback, unnumbered, goes back. He'll throw off his foot, go deep along the left side, and it is incomplete. Just a little bit too far away. Tashmir Flood on the coverage that time, and we're down to 1:01 left. So I'm sure the Legacy, they're trying to deep ball, which maybe they should have tried a little bit earlier.
Yeah, they definitely really didn't stretch the field too much, and Tajmir Flood has only been targeted a couple of times this game, and he has played well. I'm trying to look back at this game and trying to think of maybe an offensive and defensive MVP. Do you have anyone in mind, Tom?
Well, first of all, I think Paul Bolden is definitely on the defensive side. On offense, that's a tough one.
Team effort.
I think it's more of a team effort, and when that happens, tie goes to the offensive line. I mean, Jimmy LeHue, you mentioned LeHue has not been sacked at all in this game, so you have to at least give him that. And now flags are down as they try and do second down with 44 seconds left.
Tie goes to the offensive line. I'm going to write that down. I like that.
Well, I mean, it's just, if you think about it, if you're not sure of an MVP, you need to at least give it to the offensive line. I can't quite find the actual type of night that the Storm are going to have next week when the Newark, New Jersey Spartans come into play. We're going to try and get that up for you real quick, if at all possible. I think I need to recycle a lot of these outdated papers. So what looks to be the final play of this game has 25 seconds left, and their quarterback goes back. He's going to throw to right. The pass is caught along the far sideline to the 20 and down to the 23-yard line, and I think that's going to be it. So, the whistle sounds, and
tackled by number 14, Rodney
Gilmore made the stop on that one. So it'll be
timeout by the Delaware Legacy.
3rd and about 3, and the Legacy do use their last timeout. Now, just as a quickie,
no further timeouts.
What do you think about next week's game with the Spartans?
I'm actually, would you lighten me on the Spartans? I'm not too familiar with them.
Well, this is a team that's been around for several years, of course, run by Kevin and Sean Main Moss. Crazy shots to both of them. Two wonderful people. I worked with them for a number of years. I mean, it's hard to do two teams at once, and unfortunately, I was not able to do that. I did that last year with the Storm and the Spartans in two different leagues, and I'll tell you this much: they could not be more accommodating than they are. They're wonderful human beings. They're very class human beings out there, and they do a lot of stuff for the community, especially up in Newark and their former home in Belleville. I mean, they really have done tremendous wonders, and this has been an incredible breakout year. I'll mention a little bit more about them as we close things out. So with 11 seconds left, it'll be 3rd and 3 from the 27-yard line, 23-yard line rather, as their quarterback goes back and will throw a one-hopper, which is incomplete, with number 10, the intended receiver, Josh Brown. So 7 seconds left, and it'll be 4th and 3. So why not one more play? We'll say 4th and goal from their own 27-yard line.
Yeah, they're going for a 50-yard Hail Mary pass here, but the Storm defense, in my opinion, led by number 57 Paul Bolden and number 91 Chris Medina, really played great. Joe Davis, number 6, and as always, number 44 used to be number 80 Mike Kuzar. Just a great overall effort by the entire team, in my opinion, offense, defense, and special teams.
Oh, they're running the clock. They're running the clock.
From head to toe.
Well, I think the Legacy will just let the clock run out, and that will do it! The horn sounds, and it's a Lehigh Valley Storm win, and a dominant win, 49-0 over the Delaware Legacy here in Allentown this evening.
The exact win that they wanted to come out and do. Winning 49-0. They let up 50 points last week. Obviously, the defense was only 44 points of that. The offense had a fumble to the house that they had to start that game, but the defense wanted to come out and make a statement for sure.
And they absolutely did. They absolutely did. Now, we're going to do Corey's play now, which is going to take place in just a moment, and the Legacy will understand exactly what the deal is as we find out. For those of you who are new to the broadcast, Corey, number 88, who's listed as, if I can't find his name, go figure, but they call it Corey's play. Corey Martinez, that's his name. For whatever reason, I didn't quite have that thing. So what's going to happen, there's going to be a ceremonial 35-yard play where Corey Martinez is going to run for a touchdown. Obviously, it's no surprise for you Lehigh Valley Storm fans who listen to the play. And, of course, Corey, as I said, of course, has this dreaded disease in cerebral palsy. And he wasn't with us last week in Albany. And it's understandable because when you're dealing with a long trip, such a disease...
Folks, are you ready for the return of number 88?
Our announcer, our public address guy, is going to lead things in here. I kind of lost my train of balance here, but that's okay. Hey, it happens. We all have this going on. So, needless to say, we'll do our 4th and goal from the 35-yard line of the Legacy.
Hands off number 88, Martinez. He sees a hole. Oh, he breaks a tackle. He breaks another. He sees an opening. He's headed for the end zone. He sees daylight, folks. Oh, there's one man to beat. He beats him deep. Number 88, Corey Martinez takes it 35 yards into the end zone. That's a touchdown for the Storm.
And the Lehigh
Number 88, Corey Martinez takes it 35 yards to the house.
That was quite a, I'll say this one, a very nice way to finish things out considering this was a dominant game for the Lehigh Valley Storm, winning by a score of 49-0. What do you take from this?
Well, I just have to mention doing that Corey Martinez play at the end of the game. That's my favorite play of the game. I love it. He's a guy who has that dreaded disease and comes out every game, and to give him a touchdown, something that didn't happen last week. He looks all week. He looks forward to scoring that touchdown, and something that I love. But taken from this game, if I could see the chalkboard that the coaches drew up. I could only imagine what it would say, and it was wrap up better, and that's something that they did today. And it was also just establish a run, something they also did today. So if I would love to see what the coaching staff actually wrote down, because in my opinion, they checkmarked everything from top to bottom.
They absolutely did, and the Storm executed beautifully as the Storm won by a count of 49-0. Just to recap everything, first of all, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Jimmy LeHue to Jaleel Clark, followed by a 32-yard strike from LeHue to Devon Gordon. Then the quarterback for the Legacy had the ball stripped out of his hands by Mike Kuzer in the end zone, recovered by Joe Peters for a score. It made it 21-0 at quarter time. And then Sean Myers had a 1-yard touchdown run. That made it 28-0. That was the halftime score. Then Raheem Ridley got a 10-yard touchdown run, making it 35-0. Making it 42-0 was Jimmy LeHue on a touchdown run. I think he scored now 3 or 4 consecutive games on the ground. And then finishing out with LeHue, his third touchdown pass to Michael Thomas. And then, of course, an unfortunate shoulder injury and a fracas, which involved I forget, his name's not even listed here. Not Larry Floyd, but there was somebody else.
In the first half, he got injured.
Well, yeah, he did get hurt. That is correct. But there was somebody else in there within the list that...
54.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Christian Cullen. Why was I thinking 64 for some reason? That was a little bit odd on my part. But that was the scoring there. The Legacy did try to get themselves some points, but they got no further than the Storm 40 all game long. And for the for the second time this year, the Storm can celebrate a shutout victory.
Yeah, exactly. The defense played great today, led by the guys I kept mentioning, 91 and 57. But overall, so far, this is the biggest team effort, in my opinion, that I've seen dating back to this season. Obviously, last week they struggled, a huge bounce-back game, and they really stepped up tonight. In the first couple games, it was really all defense or all... Tonight, everyone played well, in my opinion, and not too many mental mistakes, and just mistakes in general. And these guys really can leave the field tonight with their heads held high after a big 49-0 win against, in my opinion, a good Delaware Legacy football team. You can't take anything away from them. They've struggled 2 weeks in a row, but the Storm played great football in Allentown at Salisbury High School tonight.
They absolutely did, and I think the Storm, I know they had a little turnover on special teams on Yusuf Reddick's punt return, but I think that really was the only mistake of this game by the Lehigh Valley Storm, because they were pretty much on point with everything after that. And I'll tell you what, considering you look at their score total, 34, 42, 55, even in a loss 27, and now 49. This team's going to put points up on the board. And I'll tell you what, the New Jersey Spartans are going to pose a very interesting challenge for them next week, because they're going to play, I think, one of the very good defenses.
We're off.
You guys?
Well, let's keep it going. Oh, thank you.
It would take forever to get back.
All right. Well, anyway.
Sorry.
See, I did in the beginning, and then you do it.
You just said everything.
I'm going to shut you off in a minute. I'm kidding.
I clicked the wrong one.
All right. Well, leave it alone. We got only about 2.5 minutes left in this song anyway. So that's all right. But anyway, the Spartans, they're going to post a different challenge, because they have a very good defense, and they're a bend but don't break defense. They don't allow too many points. So, and when their defense is on, they really are on, and they're gonna mix the Storm up with a lot of different packages next week. So now that they've gotten this game under their belt, the Storm need to prepare for the Spartans and prepare for them well. This is another good team in their division, along with the New Jersey Wolves. So if the Storm are going to stay on top, they need to have another good performance next week like they did tonight.
It should be interesting. Like I said, I'm not really too familiar with the team, but from what you have showed me, they're going to have a great defense, and when they're on, and when our offense is on, they're on. So it's going to be interesting to see what will happen. And in my opinion, it was a huge learning experience from the Storm last game, knowing that they can go out and lose a football game, because when they win big. But then they got that loss last week up in Albany. So they definitely know that they can lose, but when they win, they win. So it should be interesting next week against New Jersey Spartans.
And I think it's going to be very interesting to see how this all turns out. The other challenge that the Storm will face for the second time in 3 weeks, they'll be playing a team that had a bye. Last week, the Albany Metro Maulers. Next week, the New Jersey Spartans are off. So that's going to make things even more challenging because the Spartans, they are very interchangeable, especially offensively. They interchange with their quarterback, Quattrell Huffin, who is a very good quarterback, and Kevin Moss, he's going to throw a lot of different things. So this next week, I'm going to be pulped like Plastic Man describing this game.
And I can't wait. So it's going to be a great game up in the booth, and it's going to be a great game down on the field. Is it here?
Yes, it is right here at Salisbury High School. Kickoff time 7 o'clock here in Allentown. If you can't make it to the game, you know to reach us. lvstormfootball.com. Just click on Storm Radio, and you know what? We might have our biggest audience yet, but we will see.
Yeah, exactly. And just everyone listening, make sure to tune in on Monday night from 7 to 8 p.m. The time was changed. It's going to be a post-game wrap-up show on this 49-0 win that they handed to the Delaware Legacy tonight. And then on Thursday, it's going to be my preview show from 9 to 10. And we'll definitely have Crazy Tom on Thursday on that pregame show talking about the matchup against the New Jersey Spartans coming up next Saturday night.
Unless I have a JFK run to West Windsor for limo that goes in your time slot. I've had it happen 2 weeks in a row, and unfortunately that happened to be the case there. Real quick, before we wrap this up, quick thanks to all the sponsors here for Lehigh Valley Storm Football. Of course, Pepsi being the main sponsor, but also Shruti Pub and Restaurant, located at 1853 North Hampton Street in Easton. You can reach them at 610 area code 829-1211. That's 610 area code 829-1211. The Scott family of dealerships, that's the Scott Lot, Scott Chevrolet, Scott Cadillac, Scott Mazda, and Scott Volvo, with all lots located on Lehigh Street in Allentown. Also by Kula Children's Center, located at 833 North 13th Street in Allentown, meeting your childcare needs. And of course, me and him, from the folks at the Connecticut School of Broadcasting, of course, one of the big sponsors. Yes, we are CSB grads. Take it from us when we say it can work for you if you're stuck in a dead-end job. So if you want more information, go online to gocsb.com or call toll-free for more information, 800-TV-RADIO. Again, the website, gocsb.com, or call them toll-free, 800-TV-RADIO. So thanks to all the sponsors and, of course, everyone for supporting. Of course, my thanks to Steve, who have given us both the opportunity here to broadcast here online today, even though this is really raw footage at the end because none of the listeners are going to hear it.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you going to do? But again, next week, the New Jersey Spartans come on to Allentown in a very emotional game on my part, I hate to say. The Lehigh Valley Storm take on the New Jersey Spartans right here at Salisbury High School in Allentown. Again, kickoff slated for 7 o'clock on Saturday, August the 23rd. Look up lvstormfootball.com for more information as to what special night it is. I don't have it quite in front of me, but like I said, if you can't make it to the game, go to lvstormfootball.com and click on the Storm Radio link. You'll be able to listen to us there, and we'll see what other crazy comedy we come up with. Usually it's bad, so go figure that out. And obviously our condolences to the families of Robin Williams and Lauren Bacall, and of course that guy from Welcome Back, Cotter, who passed away. So everything comes in threes. Now we just got to stay alive and be healthy, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
So, anyway, that's going to do it here from Salisbury High School here in Allentown. For James Josephson and the entire Lehigh Valley Storm crew, of course, our announcer, I forgot his name already,
Anthony Larkin.
Anthony Larkin, crazy shouts to him, and all the people who are listening, of course, my wife and son listening back at home, and all the other people whom I think have caused them to pull over if they're listening to our online broadcast. Yeah. Now we need Sirius XM. Yeah. But anyway, for JJ and the entire crew, it's your crazy one, Tom Wilkins, signing off for now. Once again, your final score from Allentown, Salisbury High School, the Lehigh Valley Storm 49, the Delaware Legacy, nothing. We'll talk to you next Saturday here from Allentown as the Storm take on the Spartans. Have yourself a good night, everybody, as this has been a presentation of Lehigh Valley Storm Football in conjunction with Major League Football.